is the shoulder thing? Okay. I'll check it.
Is it off again?
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. Is everybody ready? Sorry. Thank y'all for joining us. We wanted to show you some video that we shot earlier today of a perp walk we did here. Of course, we'll be sending you the raw video. And I'll tell you who it is that you're looking at. That is a young man named Lorenzo Montes. He's 20 years of age. He was arrested this morning pursuant to a warrant that we obtained yesterday. We spent the better part of yesterday and today looking for him. He was located today and he was arrested at his home without incident. This stems from a shooting that took place in March of this year where a young lady lost her life, unfortunately, and another young man was shot, and I'll give you the details there. Again, we'll be sending you this video later today. 8200 block of Pearsall Road, Old Pearsall Road. As you may recall, Desirae Hope Rivera, 21 years of age. She was shot and killed after a party that took place at an old Knights of Columbus hall that had been shut down, but they took it over and had a rave-type party. And she was actually shot at 3:54 a.m. after some of the partygoers were ejected from the party. As you may recall, back in September, we actually arrested Jonathan Ariola in that case as being at least one of the main suspects. He was arrested in Brownsville, Texas, and brought back here to San Antonio. He is currently facing that charge. He's going to be facing an upgraded charge as well. We also earlier today, and this is why we didn't physically call you all in to see the other perp walk from earlier, because we had one other outstanding arrest to make. If we can put up that picture, guys. This gentleman here, Lorenzo Montes, he's 20 years of age. He is actually at present a college student. He is actually I'm sorry, Hector Torres. That's Hector Torres. My apologies. We've got the pictures. The pictures are mixed up. My apologies. So that picture there, go back to the picture, guys. The other picture. That is Hector Torres. Okay, Hector at present is a student at Hannibal LaGrange University in Missouri. And he was arrested earlier today by local authorities there pursuant to this charge. So he is presently located in Missouri. We're in the process of getting him extradited here. These three were all suspected of being in the suspect vehicle together. What it appears is that they were at that party. At least one of these guys got into a disturbance with several other partygoers, and they were all ejected by security. Threats were made that they were armed and somebody was going to shoot up the building. They then got into a vehicle and left the location. It's believed that they pulled up onto the road, Old Pearsall Road, which actually sits above the building, and so shooting down into the building, somebody from that car began firing pretty wildly into the building with a firearm that I believe was converted to fully automatic, with a switch that was attached to the weapon. Desirae Rivera was killed just about instantly. She was shot in the head. And then there was another victim, 28-year-old man, Jesus Favila, that was shot in the abdomen. Mr. Favila fortunately survived his injuries, but unfortunately Ms. Rivera did not. And so for the better part of the last few months, we've been looking for these for information on these shootings. We were able to develop information. Unfortunately, the organizers of those parties at times seemed to cooperate, at times they did not. So I can tell you right now, I don't believe that we are done making arrests in this case. I think it's highly likely that there will be other arrests, both people that were in that car, but then also people that impeded the investigation somewhat through concealing evidence. So again, we're asking anybody with information to give us a call, 210-335-6000. You can also email us at bcsotips@bear.org. Esta tarde nosotros arrestamos a dos sospechosos, Lorenzo Montes y Héctor Torres. Ellos fueron arrestados por el homicidio de Desirae Rivera, 21 años de edad. Esto pasó en marzo, el día 9 de marzo, en 8284 Old Pearsall Road. Una fiesta que estaban teniendo allí, una fiesta ilegal que estaban teniendo allí, en un salón Knights of Columbus. Los sospechosos, estaban involucrados en un incidente con los que estaban trabajando, con otras personas en la fiesta, pero también los empleados de seguridad. Ellos los echaron para afuera, empezaron a hacer amenazas que iban a balacear el lugar. Ya cuando ellos se fueron de la fiesta, ellos se pararon en el camino, empezaron a disparar hacia al edificio. Desafortunadamente, dos víctimas fueron baleadas. Desirae Rivera falleció instantáneamente. Ella fue baleada en la cabeza. Y Jesús Favila, 28 años de edad, él también fue baleado, pero él sobrevivió su herida. Nuestros investigadores han estado investigando este caso por mucho rato, y ya ellos tuvieron éxito. El mes pasado arrestamos a Jonathan Arriola, 20 años de edad, me parece, por este homicidio, pero este día arrestamos a Héctor Torres aquí, Lorenzo Montes aquí en San Antonio, y Héctor Torres en Missouri. Él estaba en la Universidad Hannibal LaGrange en Missouri. Él fue arrestado esta tarde sin incidente por las autoridades locales de allí. Nosotros también esperamos que es posible que vayan a haber otros cargos en este caso. Todavía sigue la investigación de este homicidio. Any questions?
So you had upgraded charges on Jonathan Arriola.
Yes. So he was, in September, he was arrested for, I believe, murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His charge is being upgraded to a relatively new charge, and that's what these other two are being arrested for today. Aggravated assault with a firearm, discharged from a motor vehicle. Serious bodily injury, it's a felony 1. So that, to me, sounds a lot like a drive-by shooting type charge. And so certainly it is appropriate. So as I mentioned, Hector Torres and Lorenzo Montes, that they both have warrants for that, as well as murder. And now Jonathan Arriola, his murder charge will stand, of course, but then his aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge will be upgraded, so that all three will be facing the exact same charges.
In September, you believe that Arriola was the trigger man.
At this point, that's the prevailing theory, but the other two have been known to have made statements kind of implicating themselves as possible triggermen as well. In the state of Texas, though, the law does allow us to charge everyone equally when they're involved in an incident like this. In Texas, we don't have accessory to. If somebody in the vehicle is charged with murder, and the other 2 or 3 or however many were in the car are what we would call accessories in other parts of the country, here everybody gets charged with the same crime equally. Yes, sir.
Entonces, en ese momento, ¿cuáles son los cargos en contra de las 3 personas que están ya bajo arresto?
Ellos, los 3, tienen cargos de homicidio. El Jonathan tiene un cargo por asalto con agravantes con una arma, pero ese cargo va a ser incrementado al mismo nivel que los otros. Ellos también tienen homicidio, pero también tienen asalto con agravantes con una arma de un vehículo. Así es que estaban disparando de un vehículo, y eso causó heridas graves a una persona.
¿Va a haber más arrestos, crees tú?
Es posible que vayan a haber más arrestos. Nosotros ya sabemos que los que organizaron esta fiesta, ellos bien que en algunos momentos sí nos ayudaron, pero en algunos otros momentos se notó como que ellos quisieron dañar la investigación por esconder evidencia. Entonces es posible que otras personas vayan a enfrentarse con cargos, y ya sabemos que había otras personas en este carro. Entonces esas personas también es posible que se vayan a enfrentar con cargos. También les estamos pidiendo al público que por favor, si tienen información, nos pueden llamar 210-335-6000, nos pueden mandar email bcsotips@bear.org.
Y
Usually there will be other arrests. That it means that the other person who's in the car, suspected person who's in the car, will face the same charges that these men are facing.
Well, if it's found that they did something in furtherance of that homicide, absolutely. It's possible, highly likely, that they'll face additional charges along the same lines. But it's going to depend on whatever course of conduct they took. I mean, if obviously if somebody's asleep in a car and a crime is committed and they have no say-so in it, then obviously it's harder to charge that. In this case, we don't believe that happened. We believe that the people knew. So it's quite possible that they're going to face additional charges along the same lines.
3 people were arrested. You believe at least one other was in the car. Do we know how many people total might have been in that car?
We believe there's an additional 2 people in that car. So again, it would behoove those people to call us sooner rather than later. I'm sure they would much rather be witnesses in this case than co-defendants.
Una pistola que se convirtió, dice, ametralladora, tenía un dispositivo, un switch.
Sí.
Al parecer, era solo una, ¿no?
Lo que nosotros sabemos era una arma, una pistola que tenía un switch puesto y que estaba convertida a ametralladora.
Los dueños de esa casa, sí, desde que es una fiesta clandestina, tienen, ¿no?
No es casa, es salón. Es salón, pero ya es salón que no lo están usando el edificio. No tiene electricidad, no tiene agua. Pero estos se metieron de alguna manera, pusieron la electricidad y de allí ellos lograron tener la fiesta. Ellos les cobraban a los jóvenes que iban a la fiesta. De allí ellos hicieron dinero. Pero desafortunadamente esto acabó en un homicidio.
What about the people who coordinated that illegal raid? Could they be facing charges? Because I'm sure it's
Sure.
illegal.
It's absolutely. It's actually highly likely that they'll be facing charges just for that itself. Now, with that being said, those same organizers, I believe, are the ones that hid evidence from us, crucial evidence very early on. That, quite frankly, had we had that evidence earlier on in the investigation, we wouldn't be, making these arrests to 5-6 months out after the fact. We probably could have been in a position to arrest these people much sooner, but there were folks that absolutely took an active role in concealing evidence from us that could have been crucial.
And illegal raids, I mean, for people sitting at home that don't know, like, do these happen often? Is it something you guys are seeing a spike in?
It is something that we see. Here recently, we've been handling another one that we are looking for information on, where a young man lost his life several months ago at an after-hours party that took place at a new construction home. In other words, it's a brand new home, power was on, everything was on, just the new residents had not yet closed and moved into the house. But these folks went in, took over the home, and had this big party, and a young man lost his life. He was shot in the backyard.
Would you say you're seeing a spike in these illegal raids?
It's something that we see. Well, let me put it this way. It's something that we're seeing a spike in the parties themselves. We are seeing them more frequently. It is something that we constantly monitor as well. People do send us tips on information on these parties, and when we're able to, we get to them and we try to break them up when we're able to. Again, this is not just, cops just don't want young people to have fun. The problem is at these parties is quite frequently, we've seen videos even after the fact sometimes, even when there is no homicide, and these kids literally are, and we'll send you a video if you'd like to your news desk, these kids literally in a house dancing, and everybody's carrying AR-15s and pistols, waving them around like they're party favors. It's a scary, scary situation, and like as I mentioned, in one of these instances, a young man was shot and killed in a backyard. Everybody scatters because it's a party with young people that are drinking, using drugs, got illegal weapons, and a lot of them, they don't want their parents to find out they were even at a party, much less involved in a murder or witnesses to a murder. And so many times these are witnesses that don't want to be found. Again, it presents that many more challenges for us.
Weapon was converted to fully automatic. Is there charges against that, or was it reported as stolen?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The weapon that was converted to fully automatic, had it been reported as stolen, or?
We actually have not yet recovered that weapon, but from all indications from the witness statements that we've had and from the audio that we can hear, it's definitely a fully automatic weapon.
Can I ask a question now?
Yeah, absolutely, yes, sir. Please do.
Okay. And just out of respect, we all here, so it's 1, 1, 1, 1. It's not a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, sir.
La pregunta es esta. Hablabas de videos. Aparentemente hubo algo perturbador los mismos que estaban ahí viendo a las personas muriéndose o algo
Ujú.
así, estaban tomando videos.
Sí.
¿Se puede considerar eso como un crimen o no están cometiendo ningún tipo de crimen?
Bueno, mira, para mí, en mi opinión, como un padre, eso fue algo muy indecente que ellos hicieron. Esta niña, era niña, estaba ya muriéndose en el suelo. La habían balaceado ya. Desafortunadamente, en vez de ayudar, habían muchos que estaban tomando video en sus teléfonos. Ahora, si eso ya en ese momento ya llega a ser evidencia, si esa evidencia no nos las entregan a nosotros, entonces eso también es delito. Y quisiéramos, si alguien tiene información tocante a alguien que tiene video de ese homicidio, quisiéramos hablar con ellos. Nos pueden llamar al 210-335-6000.
¿No compartir ese video puede ser delito?
Sí, no compartirlo con nosotros es un delito. Si lo esconden, que tienen esa evidencia, o si lo destruyen, también es delito eso, y también pues se pueden enfrentar con cargos.
As for Hector Torres, he was a student at school in Missouri.
Yes, sir.
Do we know if he was a college baseball player at that school?
I believe he is an athlete at the school, and I believe he was some sort of a scholarship athlete. So I mean, here's a young man that, by all accounts, looking at it, he had a bright future ahead of him. But to be out at these illegal parties with weapons and firing indiscriminately into a building, he ruined a young lady's life and seriously affected Mr. Favila's life that was shot in the abdomen. But in the meantime, he also seriously trashed his own future, just through being involved in this sort of thing.
Is he from San Antonio, or do we know why he was here?
I believe he is from San Antonio. Yes, sir.
What evidence led to these two more arrests?
Witness testimony from folks that were in and around at the time of the disturbance inside, and then even some evidence from inside the car, people that were inside the car.
En español.
Okay. La evidencia que nos llevó hasta este punto fue evidencia dentro de las entrevistas con las personas que estaban dentro del edificio, pero también personas, testigos, otros sospechosos que estaban en este carro. También información de ellos nos llegó hasta este punto.
Do you know if the suspects knew the victim at all, or are they just firing in there because out of anger?
Yeah, right now there's no indicators that they knew her. They knew either one of these two victims. I think they got mad. I think they had been drinking. Their courage was up because they were armed and they felt like the man. And they just decided to start firing indiscriminately into this building, knowing full well there's indicators that they knew exactly what they were going to do. They actually made threats to the security folks that were kicking them out that we're going to switch this place up, or words to that effect. That is, common street vernacular for we're about to shoot this place up with a fully automatic weapon.
Lorenzo Montes y Héctor Torres. Si no me equivoco.
Lorenzo Montes, Héctor Torres y Jonathan Arriola. Arriola lo arrestamos en septiembre, pero los de ahora fueron Héctor Torres, 19, y Lorenzo Montes, 20.
Pero las fotografías están flip, right?
Ya están flip las fotografías, pero ya nosotros las damos, no me regañe.
We believe that Antonio Granci, we believe that they got into some type of argument, got kicked out. We know what led to that argument at the party.
I think it was a shoving match between one of these young men and another young man from another group. He got into it, and by the looks of it, he got whooped by the other person that he was fighting with. They then kicked him out. He was already hurt over that, and didn't react well to being kicked out of the place. Okay, thank y'all so much.
No sé si te llegó a decir el señor Johnny que está ahí. Y no le preguntaban esto. Le digo a él entonces que nos pueda hacer una
Es que
historia.
mira la camisa, está
No,
ocupado
pues,
de mesero. Tiene que trabajar en mi tierra.
Bueno, entonces,
Gotta get discounts, is that what
yeah,
it is?
absolutely, please. What's up?
My friend, just a quick question. The upgraded charge,
Johnny.
can you read it out to me that way I can write it down?
Yes. Ag assault with firearm, discharge from motor vehicle. It's a felony. With serious bodily injury.
Discharge from vehicle, serious bodily injury,
Felony.
and
There's some mics up here in case y'all are, I don't want y'all to forget your mic.
so he is no longer facing that ag assault with a deadly weapon that was up there.
It's gonna be a big.
So he just got the 2